The operation is called the Colonial Plane. Several dozens of alien flyers seem to be giving off infrared wave reactions, proof that the laser fire is hitting them. But this is as far as they'll get. The tide's trying to get humanity in the blink of an eye. The hits the lasers scoring are doing nothing to stop the advance of the alien flyers. After breaking through both the screen of sharp created by the explosions and the barrage of laser fire, the CC began to swarm the fleets of ships that had dared to confront them. The chill from Oli feels like a dream now. The comms are packed with nothing but screams and pain shots. The UF army is tumbling down the sharp incline towards ruin. If you assume that the same thing that happened on Mars is taking place here, aliens must be tearing apart the vessels, hulls, and abducting the crew onto the mothership dead or alive. Wait, we don't have orders to engage it. HQ should play a trump card soon. They have no choice. Holding her breath, Canxue looks up at the commander's face. Quite the opposite. HQ probably didn't predict what would be Corner's battles. No, still orders. A shadow flashed over my heart. Each squadron's HQ received a classified order in case something like this happened. We have our orders. They will see them through. The operation map starts to shrink with small flashes. The order is that if the enemies overwhelms the ship, they are at liberty to make efficient use of the special, guaranteeing that it hits the enemy today or blow to the wings. Those flashes are the final acts of each spaceship. They are self-destructing. Given how much faster the CC are, it seems unlikely that any of the spaceships will escape. Their crews are basically doomed to be abducted, but still tearing them to self-destruct. No, that wasn't how the order went. All the order said was to simply make effective use of the weapon. What's the enemy estimated crash rate? HQ staff officers replied that the enemy had lost maybe a tenth of their forces. Affected commanders must be murderous machines that know how to most efficiently spend their lives, allies' lives. That's not what this is. This is the height of blindfolding. The fantasy of purported geniuses who know none of the reality of the front lines. The fate of the ambush fleets, which are made up of older rushers, is a tragic one. With their ordnance expanding, all they have left are outdated laser weapons. Their firepowers incapable of damaging the enemy. Their hulls are torn apart and their crews abducted and killed until only silence remains. Some of the ships managed to detonate the reactor warhead to self-destruct, taking down some of the enemy flyers, but the enemy is so tough that unless the splash hits them at point-blank range, even that's not enough to kill them. This isn't a battle, it's a one-sided massacre. A few of the older ships tried to plunge deeper to the heart of enemy lines, trying to act as a diversion for the main fleet, but sadly even the main fleet lacks the firepower to capitalize on these momentary distractions. Even the newer ships can't keep up with the enemy's mobility. They damage some of the flyers by hitting them point blank with their more powerful lasers, but for every alien names, many more ships will turn apart. Graph showing the casualties from my side continues its upward climb. By now, all the other ships are wiped out. 80% of the main fleet is gone too. The UF army is being utterly annihilated. Cat points. I know they're skeptical, but if they can literally take out dozens of them like it's nothing, they should use it. Despite her dark words, Canxue has a smile on her face. I can hear her operating phone Commander Kinnison about incoming transmission from UFF headquarters. Finally, I had thought it would take more for them to get over their pride. The operator reads out the orders from HQ. The Special Warfare Trooper Triune is ordered to cover the UEFF's military main force and assist in the evacuation of the moon civilian population.
気にすんし君、我々の所有兵器では目標に対し有効な手段がないことは認めよう。だが君なら勝てるのかね。
She is full of herself.
そうしたら指令はメガネの端をクイッと上げて、そのために
You don't wear glasses.
言わなきゃ。
Commander Canxue ignores Lisette's watch so much as blink. Instead, he says to the operator, "How long until the CC's Vanguard reaches the moon?" The operator replies that it will take 4 hours. Calculate how long it will take to evacuate all of the moon stations. Commander Canxue looks over each one of us and says, "First Lieutenant Lisette, Aguru, First Lieutenant Circe Bernard, and First Lieutenant Lee Canxue. The Special Warfare Troopers are hereby ordered to deploy. Cover the moon systems as they evacuate. I pray that you do all that you can." Canxue and I salute. Lisette responds by public professional excitement.
やっほー、いっちょやるか。ついに秘密戦隊のデビューだ。
I leap out of the airlock into space. The sudden shift from the artificial gravity produced by centrifugal force to zero gravity makes my head spin, but I still recover. The blue barcode hovers directly beneath us. As cliche as it might seem to call it that, its azure hue truly is undeniable. Above us is the dark abyss of space. The sensation of space against my skin feels warmer than it did back in the space sector of my Mars. I somehow got used to perceiving the cosmos directly through all 5 of my senses. It's such a strange feeling. We've already fought the aliens several times already, but this is our first time fighting as an official unit. On top of that, the lives of so many rests on our slender shoulders. It's not just the lives of everyone on the moon, but the future of everyone back on Earth as well. I can't fight the combination of elation and fear creeping through me. Can I really shoulder such a heavy burden?
行くぞ行くぞ行くぞ。
From the looks of it, Lisette only feels excitement about all this. I wish I could feel that way too.
大丈夫ですわ。もしうまくいかなくても、あなたのせいではありませんもの。
Canxue comes over to my side, whispering that to me.
もともと私たちが背負うべきものじゃないんですわ。でも、たまたまそういう巡り合わせになってしまっただ
She got a point though.
け。できる範囲でやるしかありませんわ。それ以上求められても困りますし。
I nod, but I can't say that I feel relieved at all. After all, she's fighting for her homeless people. She must be feeling an even heavier, more question-sense responsibility than I am. Yet she still found it in herself to share these words with me. It makes me happy. We fly to space faster and more gracefully than any spaceship. We're blitzed by the captive military ships headed for the moon and accelerate the entire way. This between Earth and the moon doesn't even seem real to me. Yes, like it crossed in a second, but in the past, when the pilot level first landed on the moon, its journey took 4 days. Now this fast spaceship can make a trip in a day. A civilian especially needs 2. We finished our journey in less than 3 hours. If Lisette wasn't slowing down to let us keep up with her, she could have arrived even sooner. The space sector above the moon is in a state of chaos. Civilian ships queuing evacuate citizens, military crafts, media crews, covered evacuation ships everywhere. Special warfare troops remaining time into the entirety of the moon season or evacuate is roughly 31 hours. Receive transmission from Commander Kinnison. If you destroy the aliens' events force, that should buy us a day into the massive alien arrives. I expect you to put up a good fight, but maybe that's the kind of platitude you might expect me to say now. So I won't tell you to do that. I already know you're capable. We finished passing by the moon, rapidly approaching a battlefield where aliens are massacring the EF's forces. Some ships should destruct the reactor heads, others are torn apart by CC before they can, while still others are punched forward gigantic holes. Crewmen suffocate to death as their spaceships are torn from their bodies. Lisette spotted glows with white light as she manifests a gigantic sword. The sword grows bigger and bigger till it's so large that its width is longer than Lisette herself.
リゼット、艦船から遠い奴らを優先して。あなたの武器は強力だから艦船ごと切断しかねませんわ。おお、この
As always, Lisette doesn't listen, but somehow, or maybe also in typical Lisette fashion, the message seeps through the CC swarm without even as much as scratching a single EFF ship. Canxue manifests 6 teddy bears surround herself.
バカな天才に注意などするものではありませんわね。キルケ、私はこの子たちととどまって撤退を援護しますわ。あなたはリゼットと一緒に。
I now I'd manifest a spear of light in my hand and fly off. It shrinks up the spear out wide in the safe space and sit initially cleaved open. Just see 6 teddy bears fire laser beams and shoot down and enemies that try to sneak up behind us.
エイリアンシスベスシスベス、弱いぞ弱いぞ。地球人をなめるな。見たか見たか、目に物見たか。
Lisette cuts through every CC she comes across, one after another. She utterly overwhelms them. No other one can describe it. Meanwhile, I sweep up any enemies that slip by her that she leaves crippled. The swarm of CC flies visibly change seems to shift the focus from the EFF fleet to us. Acknowledging us the bigger threat, they peel away from the ships and rush towards us. Lisette laughs loudly. She's crazy. I think it's, I actually really like her though because of how optimistic he is, and she just doesn't care no matter how dire the stakes are. With rapid spins of her blade lies, she mows down the CC swarming around her. Somehow her show looks like it's growing even bigger, or even larger, bigger than before. She's a mason. Her lines might sound more thin or willing than the hero, but either way, she's still a mason. Oh no, Lisette's too cool. Still, as cool as she is, I can't afford to spend all my time gawking at her. The ugly CC are trying to swarm me too. Using my spear's long reach, I cut down several of them with a single slash. Canxue's cover on fire is precise. Whenever there's more enemies than I can handle, she either forces them back or outright eliminates them. You have a special take advantage of my distraction escape. They're all stay of the oil ships, meaning they're probably remnants from the centrifuge, but they're all heavily damaged and some of them are obviously internally crippled. Apparently there are only CC left behind us as Canxue flies over to my side. Despite how far away Lisette is, I can clearly hear her laughing maniacally. That's a villain. That's literally like a villain would do. Assistant Cactus, I can hear the howl and the CC flies are still cut to pieces. The two of us look at each other for a second. That's my Lisette for you. Well, interrupted by a mentally visual approaching us. It's missing half its structures and its entire weapons model. I recognize it as one of the new Orient class cruisers. We watch it pass us by when just as cruiser reaches your voice and alarm, CC flies that have been clinging to the far side of the ship lead away and rush straight for us. They're nearly right on top of us, hoping that we fail to react in time. Oh, sure, they were smart. They were using the little ship as a distraction. But one of Canxue's teddy bear pops into existence between us and the vintage CC. It fires a single red beam before its entire body explodes. Very CC scatters to avoid the blast, giving us the time we need. One enemy hurled straight towards Shockwave, but I cut it down with ease. Another one explodes as Canxue's other 5 teddy bears burn it down with concentrated fire. But the enemy is surprised, lost, the remaining CC pose no real threat to us any longer. The two of us mopped the rest of up in the mere second after that. Sure enough, the CC's attack a bait, Lisette says. With that disappointed remark, she turns around and begins to return to base. That's how we conclude our first official recorded battle. I take a shower and my room. There I find Lisette lying on the floor, her limbs spread wide. I can't help but tell her to put her uniform on. After all, we might be caught action in a moment. She hastily turns her eyes in my direction. She's not wrong. I don't really notice while we're flying fine, but once it's over, we transform back. It's like all the fatigue catches up at once. I got really give it tight, hungry, shredded all at once. It's very awful. We reached our Kimino Kinnison by neighboring first May. He gave us permission to shower whenever we changed back. As soon as I did underneath information to wash myself off, I finished a drain. I could hardly stay on my feet. I wonder if the magical goals and transform my heroes from all those shows to sit forcing me to watch Riffle also get the side after they transform. They did get a craving for an ice cold beer too. Have a sign. I leave a sign sit on my bed. They said crash over to my feet and starts rubbing her head into my lap. First she can get any friendly though, Kitchen comes out of the bathroom or kisses me.
3人部屋でごめん遊ばせ。本当だよ。それとも混ざる？遠慮しておきますわ。服を着たらさっさと出ていくのでご安心を。
She stops for a moment at the door, though, turning around her face for a second.
あなたも大変ですわね。でももう少しこの野生児を信じてもいいのではなくて。
But that remark she leaves the room. I know, for all the complaints, consider respects our relationship and does her best as to be considerate of us. But she can be so clever and scary. I realize I might come across as colorless for thinking that way, but she scares me.
野生児って誰？
I wrap my arms tightly around Lisette's head. It's fine if she don't understand. For the next operation, the special warfare trooper unit would deploy from the very beginning.
やったー！上層部もこの部隊の力を認めたのですね。
It's clear that they're treating us differently now. For the last mission, we were stationed at Base 32, a small base moving along the Earth's orbit. And now that they've lost so many ships and personnel, we've been assigned to the far larger Atlantic base, which is now the vacant of its usual garrison. Its military base is located between Earth and the Moon. Its facilities are much better equipped, so life here is far more comfortable. Of course, our pusher quarters and the bases commencing are built from the same modern design, so those spaces are pretty much the same as on Base 32.
他に看板がないからなのでは？
Exactly. There's no point trying to consider the casualties from the previous operation. After all, they were so confident that we'll win that they had the media ships right at the scene of the battle. Multiple media ship outlets have covered you heretics. In fact, at this point, your actions are the only that what Porsche is talking about.
燃える！地球公認のヒーローか。秘密戦隊じゃなくなったのが残念だけどさ。作戦とおっしゃいましたが、統合宇宙軍に作戦を行える兵力が残っているのですか？
Survivors from the fleet are being recognized or reorganized into the first task force to get with you doing.
我々の部隊があれば小型の飛行隊軍には対抗できます。ですが、ルドンの目に対抗できるとは思えません。
Based on your achievements during the last operation, the top brass thinks you can. They think we're capable of destroying that thing, no matter how you look at it, we're going to lose big time. I'll explain this operation outlined in the reorganized UEF military will be defending New Beijing and New Washington with everything they have. I can feel the push of the CC swarm quickly approaching us. I would say, I know, it's just, I really thought this was going to be a much shorter novel. But, because it was free, you could really get this on Steam for absolutely free. And I thought it was going to be a much, smaller novel. Like, really small. It's not that small, which is fine. I don't care. It's free, so what's the point of looking? And it's actually good. I actually like it. But it's... No, it's just kind of like, got a lot there. It makes me wonder how long it is. I'm starting to think it might be like 6-7 hours long, but for a free novel, I should make it $10, Or at least make it a couple. It kind of odd to make it free. I'm not complaining it's free, just put so much work into it and have it for free. It's kind of odd, Ship that dropped us off has already retreated. At this point, it's only us versus them in this space sector.
ヒーローってのは、もっと勝手にできるもんだと思ってたんだよね。無理ですわよ。いろいろしがらみがありますもん。面倒。
It means so much far below us. Two stains splash across it are new beginning and new Martian. The rest of parts are on the surface on just heat exchanges and various communications ways. The majority of the series of cereals is on the ground. Seasons have already finished background. The only people left down there are grounded ready to play the role in the attack to come. The person between us and the main servers is the UF's first task force.
民間の警備会社でもやろうよ。そして裏では正義の秘密戦隊。僕がいつもゴロゴロダラダラしてるけど、これという時にはバシッと決めるキャプテンで、ヒルケがおっぱい大きくて真面目な秘書さん。キャプテンは仕事中にも秘書さんといつもうだうだしてんの。
Give me my big boobs seriously.
秘書ですか。
That doesn't sound so bad actually. None bad it seems bad at all, so long as I get to stay with Lisette. It ain't as fine by me. For some reason, I think I'll probably end up working part-time jobs behind the scene to make ends meet.
で、お嬢が面倒なことは全部やってくれんの。浮気調査とか、迷子のペット探しとか。それは警備会社ではなくて、探偵社ではなくて。
That could also work, though with Canxue around, I can't see us ever having problems with money.
面白ければどっちでもいいや。っていうか、何でも嫌にすればいい。どう二人とも悪くないでしょ。私がいないとき、誰が仕事をするんですか？その時は休み時間ですっていう札を入り口のところへ出しとくから問題ないよ。それだと私があなたたちを食べさせてることになるのではありませんこと？いえ、そんなことはさすがに。私は秘書としてデータの整理とかやりますから。なる！でも給料は一番いっぱいあげるからさ。そもそも儲けが出る気が全くしないので、額面上一番多くても意味がありませんわ。ケチ。
Sorry, what? The image presses seem to be getting closer. They're not showing any signs of attack at all. Right now, the other two have no Israel.
無視するとは生意気な。僕が突撃して。
Dude, don't realize disrespect.
遠来の客人方を宿へ案内してやらねばなりませんわね。
Can't shoot many fish or 6 sabers around itself. Each one fires a laser out from its eyes, nose, mouth, and each of its limbs. 8 lasers per barrel for a total of 48 lasers. One laser per sim, each invader laser is relatively weak. Oh, okay, so 48 weak lasers.
ご冗談でしょ？いくらなんでも当たらないって。
Even if she does, these beams won't do much. Essential infrared waves make it clear that the lasers have hit the target, but they won't be able to penetrate the barriers of the CC flyers. Of course, Canxue must know this too. Is she trying to provoke them then? She fires more lasers, but each time she shoots, she does so with few ways. Is she exhausting herself? Suddenly, one corner of CC formation pushes the flames. What was your plan?
すごい！どうやったの？昔の土級戦艦の方式でやってみました。士官学校で習いましたわ。
As it explains, she fires nade barrage. Once again, the number of waves gradually decreases before finally piercing through the enemy.
散布会ですね。
Long ago, the Sea of Earth was ruled by naval battleships. These ships had huge guns that could fire at great distances. However, without radar, accurately hitting targets from extreme range is very difficult. Precisely calculating the target's relative trajectory and compensating for any maneuvers it might make by simultaneously account for the effects of the wind was nightmarishly complex. Instead, they would fire barrages of shells in a set pattern and track for each linear relative to a target. By continuously adjusting their predictions and refining their understanding of the target's movement, gradually tightening their barrage until they scored a hit. Since continues applying the same tactics to light laser barrages, but she roughly estimates the image position via a spray of low-power lasers. These can't penetrate the alien's barriers, but she can figure out which one score hits by searching for the resulting infrared rays. Based on which lasers hit from the previous volley, she knows the spread while increasing each shot's power. Eventually she picks the enemy's barriers entirely, shooting the aliens down. So what, is she like shooting lasers trying to figure out where the aliens are precisely? And then each time she does it, she uses less lasers, but each laser is more powerful. So you got 48, which is like the biggest amount, and it'll probably hit something. And then she decreases it, and then it's like 36. But those lasers are more powerful than the 48, and then she increases it to like 24, and those are more powerful than the 36. That's what I'm guessing. The CC formation begins to turn our way. Maybe the aliens have some kind of reference for the number 5 because they always come with group stats of that size. Alright. The enemy drawing closer makes Canxue's lasers that much more accurate. The CC are always taking considerable losses from weathering the one-sided barge. 5 groups of 5 minutes to survive Canxue's persistent fire. They close in on us at rapid speed. She shoots down 11 of them, but 14 still remain before they're upon us. Lisette springs forward and I follow suit. The thing is though, she does a pose like that, where it's like she's about to attack, but I don't see a sword. Is a sword in her like left hands, or not left hand, right hands, and I just can't see it. As her body shines from a blinding white light, as the aura about her motion to the shape of a sword, she dives into the enemy's ranks. I manifest my long lances from my hands, thrusting it forward as well. She spins white blade like a railroad milling down, slashing through and tearing apart the enemy. She amazes me every time I look at her. Whichever wants to attempt to avoid her attacks, me no ends at the tip of the spear. Those that get past me are promptly shot down by Canxue's lasers. It doesn't take long for us to wipe the enemy out. I fired Canxue's gaze. The rest of the enemy group that had ignored his temperature now spread it out as they approach us. That's a lot of them. Canxue's shots become stronger and more accurate the closer the enemy comes. She shoots her aliens down one after another in large numbers. Well, look, all I see are more CC. Space pillars around us. I can feel it shaking across my skin. She shrinks herself around like a very short she wears. Spin like a tornado as she charges straight towards the incoming enemy. She surely doesn't look like she's planning to shoot. Canxue doesn't look concerned at all, but that's because she doesn't know Lisette as well as I do. I have to keep my wits about me. If Lisette goes wide, I'm the only one who can really pull back. That's my responsibility. Slowly but steadily, the background shifts closer to the moon. Lisette thrusts deep into reinforcements. I cut down enemy shield with looks, and Canxue shoots down any that can pass me. Canxue's attack range is extremely wide, allowing her to cover from the rear as we continue to shut the enemy on. We know too many of them, and nearly some of them, though not many, slip past us three. It's something to do, Lisette simply goes. She turns abruptly and takes off after the fleeing aliens, cutting them down while shouting otherwise. She's extremely keen on not letting any escape, letting a single one escape her. Watching her chase after the enemy yet again, I'm under myself. The
ちゃんと作戦通り動いてるの？
It turns out that I don't actually have to stop her.
重しがつけてあるからですわ。重し
I see what Canxue means by that. The burden is us. We're supposed to be protecting the whale, but despite efforts, some of the aliens are slipping past us. Someone has to pursue them and finish them off. Between the two of us, Canxue has more kills by far. I'm not but a burden for Lisette. I just drag her down. Canxue looks over my
あれ
shoulder.
ですわ。
That is the UEFF's first task
私
force.
たちの防衛線を CC に突破されれば、昨日まで統合軍最強部隊だったハリボテが攻撃にさらされるじゃありませんか。そうか。
The only about it proved that they were powerless against the CC. Given that Lisette insists on being being a hero who protects the weak, they're no different from a civilian she's responsible for watching over.
宇宙統合軍のメンツで役にも立たない部隊を並べてるのかと思っていたのですけど、あれはリゼットの行動を制約するためだったのですわね。メンツを立ててやるふりをしてあそこへ配置させるように仕向けたんですわ。まったくうちの司令官閣下は食えないお人。
Commander Kinnison. If it wasn't for him, we've only been seen as women who had something strange implanted into their bodies by the aliens. It would have been quarantine or was experimented on like guinea pigs. The only reason we're not being put under the knife and instead being allowed to fight is 6 a.m. I'm extremely grateful for everything he's done. But he may be a scary man than I realize. It does feel like the enemy's attacks are dying down, but
そうですね。じゃ
that theme must be coming. The ship flies back to us.
あ来たぞ。あいつが来た。
You can all sense it. That gigantic enemy we don't the enemy that attacked us and gave us its power, its trajectory turns towards us. But that's the our operation predicted. Several hours ago, they're not breathing. I'll explain the operation outline. In the reorganized UEFF military will be defending New Beijing and New Washington with everything they have. Lisette and Canxue expressed his fear of disappointment.
守るより攻めでしょ。押してダメなら押しまくる。せめて希望があるとは思えませんが、守っても希望があるとは思えませんわ。
I could understand disappointment. This isn't a defensive plan, it's an offensive plan. Meant to make effective use of our reactor warheads despite their slow speed and small effective radius. As small as the enemy destroyed all the facilities orbiting the planet before descending to the planet's surface, still, there is like other bases slaughtering and abducting all the personnel. They'll most likely do the same to Mars, however, if you can put up enough neutrons, the enemy flyers will be incapable of completing those objectives. In that situation, the most powerful unit they have, Wayne's Eye, will be forced to personally arrive in order to deal with you. Lisette's eyes practically lit up.
僕らならやっつけられるってわけか。
No, as past you are, we're not expecting that much out of you. Indeed, I don't think our power will be effective against something that massive. Still, I can't help but think we'll somehow figure out some way to deal with it all the same.
司令部の期待通りに事態が進むとすれば、月面の2都市は毒入りの餌。相手が食いついてきたらたっぷりからし入りというわけですわね。
Exactly. Once all the cities have been evacuated, we'll bring large numbers of reactor warheads into the cities. Usually, we just need to keep the fight going until the very last moment. Then make you retreat. Once you do, the enemy will go for the cities.
あの目みたいな部分に打ち込むというわけですか。今までのデータからしてあの招かれざるお客様の機動力は小型飛行体ほどはなさそうですわね。
So we could assume that that Wayne's Eye could be like maybe the mothership type thing, maybe? Like you got all the swarmers and that didn't give it a power and maybe it's like lethal. Exactly, if we find the reactor warheads from close range, it should be able to avoid it. They're prepared by rockets, albeit very simple ones. In the previous batch, we know that the blasts of reactor warheads are able to damage the alien flyers. The wood governments are guiding up all the reactor warheads to have hoarded and are sending them all to the moon right now. Forwards a constant stream of ships arriving at and departing from Mars Moon's Armstrong spaceship, its cinch hardboard plays on the holographic display. They will bring in nuclear warheads on their trip to the moon and evacuate refugees on their way back. Still, I'm assuming they're preparing for what comes after this war because what they're delivering is much less than what we know they have. Anyway, this is by far the biggest stockpile of firepower in one place ever since the dawn of human history.
反応弾運用部隊は無人ですの?
A small number of inspection personnel will remain there until the last minute. It's a do-or-die mission, but we have made volunteers. Morale was on the rise. The last battle was affected by getting everyone's spirits up. If nothing else, it proved that the enemy can be destroyed.
僕らの大活躍があったからね。インタビューとか殺到しちゃったりして。でも秘密戦隊も捨てがたい。悩むな。
Me's been having a field day with your heroics. Your identities are still confidential though. Earth knows about you, but the rest is still secret.
おお、有名なのに秘密戦隊か。両方とはすごいぞ。アホですわこの人。
Wish I thought this optimism that lets you see the best in these situations was one of her best qualities. Radiant's eye punches menacingly as if looming over the two cities. The enemy hovers some 18 miles above the moon surface. That doesn't sound like final boss stuff. I don't know what does, cause that's some final boss music right there. We've been performing the fight and retreat over the course of 4 whole hours, luring the enemy to a specific spot. The blue light spearing from its eye like tail shines down on New Beijing and New Washington. Staying our ground in that silver space between the enemy and the seas, we continue fighting CC flyers. They kept the CC from reaching the seas, preventing them from discovering that door or being safe for the volunteer.
地球は僕が守っちゃう。
The ship flies through the air, much like a gigantic sword that cuts down the image one by one.
リゼット、距離が20キロになったら撤退ですわよ。
Any parts I can pass to say are either shot down by Canxue or teddy bear laser slashed apart by my spell. UFA unit consisting of the few ships that were able to cover the gate have already retreated. At this point, it's just us and the push to hiding in the nearby cities.
にしても、あの敵って白い水星帝国より強いな。何度か表面を剣で切り刻んだんだけど、すぐ回復しちゃうんだよ。ずるいよ。無茶だよリゼット。勝手にそんなことやったんですの
？Whenever did she descend down to show us a way inside and come back?
だって切り刻めるかと思ったんだもん。それで済むならこんな面倒な作戦とかやらないですわ。
Situation makes my ear, so launch units from the seas are finally ready to fire the reactors. That means we have to start falling back. Mirror's eye is too large to get away quickly. At this range, it won't have time to retreat. We begin to withdraw from the battlefield.
私たちも撤退ですわ。待って、取り残された友軍がいるらしい。
Mirror's eye has so much mass that it's influencing gravity around the moon. Some of the design escape routes along the moon's surface must have collapsed.
助けに行くぞ。仕方ないですわね。時間がないですからすぐに済ませますわよ。
We hurry over to our eyes position. As we fly above the moon's surface, we can see that some of the tube tunnels connecting the city to the spaceship have been destroyed. Some people's spaces are caught out of the crashed vehicle. The moment they spot us, they wave and raise their hands and cheer us.
僕たち有名人だ。サインとかしなくちゃかな。はいはい、有名。よかったですわね。そういうのは終わってからですわ。それに秘密戦隊がサインをしてどうするんですの。秘密戦隊は辛いね。
We touch down and usher them back to the vehicle. Once the officer cut aside, the three of us deploy a force field. Force field, that's the term of the field that surrounds us creatures form. It includes our magical garbage weapons and our barriers we produce. It's hard to explain, but we expand our force field so they envelop the vehicle. Once we lift the vehicle up into the air, we begin carrying with us to the spaceport. As an overbearing pressure washes over us, making me look up where his eye glows down at us, seeming so close that seems like all I would take to touch it is extend my hand. Blue light spears from escaping eye like tail, casting a pale azure glow over us all. I realize now that the blue surface looks as though it's... I feel like it's getting closer to. It's dripping, almost like the eye is weeping, but the unnoticed substance isn't tears, it's tentacles. Gigantic pale blue tendrils reach down towards us. Shuma tentacles grow even larger, rapid fills the skies as the tips come even closer. We slowly lower our engine in an attempt to escape the tentacles. It seems that our presence has been past this point. It looks as though the bluish ruin is reaching all around us. I finally come to a realization. Of the three of us, I'm contributing the least torch toward the vehicle. Let's say a cushion would leave the vehicle would plummet to the ground. But it wouldn't if I did. I'm accomplishing the least here. It would be better for me to make use of myself in a different way. I will actually get from my force field. I pull away the vehicle, lunges once as Canxue and Lisette adjust their grip. A moment later, they recover and resume flying away. I manifest my weapon back into existence and launch an attack on one of the tentacles pursuing the vehicle. Oh, my weapon hits home, the powerful shockwave that sends me flying back. Blue liquid gushes from the tentacle where I struck it. At the very least, I can damage it. That small discovery gives me courage. I slash 3 more times as the tentacle closes in on the vehicle. It's too thick for me to cut through, but I am clearly hurting it. The bluish blood pouring from its wound freezes in a blink of an eye, forming a azure blister that covers my shoulders. Some part of me can't help but think that the sight is beautiful. Maybe that arrow dart is what doing me, or maybe I'm simply too weak. But by the time I notice the second person near me, the tentacle's master had already swooped in on me. There's no time to dodge it. It seems to me sending me flying through the air, my dodge faded black. I'll fade into nothing. I'm falling into dark cold darkness where I can't feel none. No, I don't want this. Not this, I don't want this. I have no way of resisting. I'm fading away, fading away, fading away. My arms, my legs, my stomach, my head, all of me fading away. It's all over. Something rushing through my head, a cold and bent on wiping me out of existence. Chill flows into every groove of board of my brain. Set. She appears within the light. The push enveloped the sacred white light, a light shaped like a sword. That's right, it's Lisette. The push I hold dearer than anyone. The one I never want to be turned away from. I am Ilse. That's right, I'm Circe. My name flares up, within my radiant existence like a flame rushing through my body. The tubes attacking my body are severed at the roots. My limbs feel light all of a sudden. I feel something leave my body. Although I feel light, I can't muster enough strength to move. Immediately after, something tightly embraces me. Lisette flies off from me in her arms. A large mass of tentacles pursues us from all directions, trying to throw us back down to the surface. Yet somehow Lisette and I slip through the narrow, twisting path with it and the tentacles of tentacles. It's as if time and space and serious to forth to Lisette's feet. We escape the floor, whip like tentacles crawling in our wake. But just then, a thick trunk of tanker thrust towards us from Lisette's blind spot. He can't get away. And on top of that, where lasers are closing in on us from ahead, yet Lisette doesn't even try to avoid them. She continues flying straight ahead without a moment's hesitation. The lasers hit the thick tanker just as its tip winds back to strike us. Explosions of blue bodily fluids spray from its flesh, and its swing misses us by a hair's breadth. Who is she? Why is she so friendly with Lisette? I don't like it. This is mine. Can this woman just die? Okay. It sounds like she knows me too. I see. I remember Lisette caught someone that way. Yes, I remember. That's Canxue, who... No, our friend. Regret runs through me. I can't believe I harbored such dark feelings about Canxue. I even wish for her death. But me stealing her arms to sit blitzes past Canxue and flies off. Looking behind, I see Canxue fire more red lasers to fend off the pursuing tankers right she falls back with us. That's when it happens. As the border horse passed us, launched from the moon surface, something else impacts Rina's eye directly from behind. Last driver catapults are used to propel lasers from the moon to Earth's orbit. The titanium, aluminum, and iron collected from the moon's atomic mines is loaded into automated pallets, which are then launched from each mine via railgun. Saved by the force in excess of 10 Gs, the cargo breaks free of the moon's gravity and flies through space at 1.24 miles per second until it's caught by the net in Earth's orbit. Each of the 15 mines starts in the moon's surface delivers hundreds of tons of resources to the orbital bases from factories around Earth. These resources are crucial for the environment within space. By changing the fire and angles, every society they can instead fire payloads to the Raiden's eye. These cruise by massive projectiles that cause more damage than any laser or ordnance can. Raiden's eye stops pursuing us, instead turning its gaze towards the moon surface. Just as the enemy looks down, red flashes of smoke begin to rise from the two cities, which are coming under the gravitational pull of the gigantic enemy's mass. Reactor hurricanes guided by Minkai's powers are launched from close range directly into the enemy's eye. As is this, there's no possible way it can possibly avoid. Sound doesn't travel through vacuum, but I'm sure that the splash would otherwise be deafening. Faster specks of the reactor's warheads explosions sprout from the surface of the downturn eye. When its eye massive form shakes ever so slightly, it crashes to the moon's surface, sinking into the lunar soil. The operation was complete sex. Mankind has won. I think so anyway. For some reason I can't feel any excitement. Correct, the operation was successful when its eye is still active. The monitor is filled with camera feeds on the image identity form. At first it looks like it's completely sealed, but then it's hardly visible from a distance, but it seems to be trying to push itself away from the moon. A magnified view of the enemies makes the situation clear. With the two cities crushed beneath its weight, its eye is now attempting to lift itself off the massive cradle it's far created. It sure hasn't escaped unscathed, but simply voiced and true in inertia. But the fact is, it's to move after all that means it might as well be invincible. The UFA has no more cards to play. If Raiden's eye were to descend upon the Earth, it would be catastrophic. It would bring about mass catastrophe what it did to Mars and the Moon. Oddly enough, the realization doesn't stir any emotion to me. To me, that knowledge simply seems like a cold-hearted fact. Yes, it would be a terrible thing for the species of mankind several, but my mind remains indifferent, as if asking, so what? So part of me is terrified of that infinite. By now, Raiden's eye floats completely above the moon surface and begins moving once more. What's the enemy's course? To answer Commander Kenneth's question, a projector of Raiden's eye predicted course is brought up in the center of HQ. When his eyes met with George, one of the mines.
マスドライバーを潰すつもりですわ。15箇所すべてを潰すまで時間の猶予がありますわね。
That lady wants a desperate to live on. Wait, what is this? Why do I feel like this whole affair has nothing?
だからさ、あの程度でも嫌がってるんだからさ、あんなに小さな石の塊じゃなくて、もっとでかいのぶつけりゃよかったんだよ。
When I look at Lisette though, I simply think that she's dash and silly and haphazard. She's the same Lisette I've always loved.
ですから無理だと言っているんですわ。無理じゃない。やればできる。諦めたらそこで試合終了だよ。プッシュプッシュ。考える前に動くんだ。
Well, no matter what, Lisette never changes. That's what's so good
あ
about.
れにぶつけて効果があるような手頃な商店体でもあれば別ですけど、そんな危険なものは航路局が全部除去してしまってますわ。ある。
Lisette points at the projection of the center of HQ.
こいつをやつにぶつけてやるんだ。アホですよ。アホじゃない。僕はヒーローだ。
Lisette's so cool. We don't have any orders from the high ups, and I have independent authority over here. The plural, I assume I'm responsible for anything you do. If you can't do it, no one can.
やった。
What's it again? I was second in favor of a code when Lisette came over to the place. She said we should go outside and have some fun. My mother told her I was sick. Lisette just said.
風邪じゃしょうがないね。じゃあ頑張って直して。ファイト。
And then she left, leaving me behind. Tired and weak, I watched her from my window as she left. Lisette looked so much more free and unfettered than she did when she was with me. It was like the weight on her back that could carry her whenever she wanted. She ran out to play with someone else, someone who wasn't me. But whoever that was, they probably had the strength to keep up with Lisette. Maybe she won't invite me next time. That thought made me feel miserable. Lisette, let's say I'm scared. Too free, might leave me behind.
んじゃ、ちょっくら行って地球を救ってくる。まったく、こんなの作戦でも何でもありませんわ。僕を信じろ。
I see them off in the dark port, dressed not in my magical core outfit, but a mere spacesuit. After being rescued from main inside, I found I can't transform anymore.
気をつけてね。大丈夫。キルケの分までやっちゃうから。キルケ、あなたの彼女の背中は私がちゃんと守りますわ。だからそれだけは安心してくださいな。
She's more tired than I am. Since leaving before. No, I don't want that. No, she's being considerate of me. She knows how I feel. So, no, I don't want this.
また後で。
Lisette beams at me. And with that shout, she throws her body out of space. Canxue follows after her. Her figure soon disappeared from sight. Yet, though I can't see them, I can still hear their
どう
voices.
やるんですの、あんなの。そりゃ押してぶつけるんだってば。リゼット、あなたって本当にバカですわね。乗りかかった船ですからやりますけど。ということで、ちょっと時間稼ぎしてて。
Two of them bent her like a couple. No, I already know. They've always been like that. It's just like before. I used to be there too. Now I'm not. It's just Lisette Canxue. The fact makes me feel so hurt and jealous. Everyone knows what happens next. Once Canxue shot down, a CC patrol flies, the one that tends to win his eye. That distraction, Lisette flew to the opposite side of the moon, between her and his eye. She then became just a mood to me. It sounds so simple when I put it into words, but the truth is that even I'm not sure what happened then. It's classified me to intro, I can't find any word of it. But while it was happening, I got to everything.
変身！光の巨人！シュワッチ！
Later, Lisette told me her version of the
大
story.
きいものを動かすなら自分も大きいものになっちゃえってだけ。
That's all she had to say about it. The written records I'm allowed access to claim that Lisette's body burst forth with a gigantic oil of light when facing a larger version of herself that she used to move the moon. I can't imagine Lisette trying to put any more thought to the act when she told me about it. The moon began to move slowly first, picking up a speed layer by layer away inside, which had been flowing away from its in preparation to crush the mine's mass rival catapults, found its socket rushing up to me instead. Yes, I tried to escape, but Lisette simply pressed on, driving the moon towards the enemy even more quickly. In fact, the moon against the enemy smashed it to bits, completely destroying it. Even after that, Lisette continued to accelerate. By the time the moon had gained enough velocity to escape Earth's orbit, in other words, Earth would ultimately lose the moon as a satellite, but that was something we'll only find out much later.
あのバカ、本当にやりましたわ。バカっていう人の方がバカなんだい。ってやった。屋上から落としたトマトみたいに潰れましたわ。よっしゃー。それからもう加速は結構ですわ。私の故郷が飛んでいってしまいますから。オッケー。
I can hear them talking to each other. Just cheering all around the base, mankind rejoices, they say, and the hero is born, they say. I remain silent, without the sip on my side, none of this matters anymore. I could have been part of that conversation. I could have, if it had just been me out there. But I'm not with them right now. I can't bring myself to act. 3 hours later, Lisette and Canxue return. The docking port is full of layer ones, I mean humans. Everyone's waiting for the 2 heroes, especially Lisette, to return. A few meteor ships that were still in space formed to record return to the station. I'm not part of that. The only one left out. Lisette is the first to come, and from the airlock, Canxue comes in a moment after all. Two of them look lovely standing next to each other. Canxue deserves to occupy that spot by Lisette's side far more than I do. Lisette looks around frantically trying to find me. Yet I still don't step forward. She finally catches sight of me, shouts me out to Lisette. Now that she sees me, Lisette smiles. Yeah, I still can't take that step forward. Just then, I feel a tap on my shoulder. Startled, I jump to look at the commander standing there. Go on, they're looking for you. You are a proud and brave man with the special welfare troopers. I can't fly anymore, maybe I'll never fly again. Yeah, he still says I'm part of the team. But for now, I try to suppress the anxiety looking in my heart and take that step forward to join them. Overture by Dawn of the Special Warfare Troopers. Okay. First of all, I hope there's a sequel to that because that was probably one of the worst endings I've ever had. Okay, so the ending about them saving humanity was fine. It was a stupid idea using the moon, but it worked. That was okay. But I was sad. I've never played a game where it ended, everything ended so perfectly, but I feel so sad about it. Like, Circe lost her powers, that is true, but still, like, she just makes it seem like I could kind of understand it, but I don't think it was a good move. I would have been happy just seeing them, or maybe what they could have done, which I thought they were going to do, was make it a will, because when they got their powers originally, they were in so much pain, and they had such a traumatic experience, and I thought maybe having such an experience like that with emotionally would have snapped her back. And it's possible that the moon, they could have scrapped out the moon and be like, that's the plan that could have worked, but Circe being so miserable emotionally could have snapped and reached this new form of magical girl, you know, like had this new power that was just far stronger and be the first one to obtain it. And be able to defeat Raiden's Eye itself and make it real, that plan that Lisette had would have backfired. Maybe it didn't work, or maybe the eye got hold of them quickly. I just don't like the way the ending was. It just seems so upsetting, even though it was supposed to be such a happy moment. Like To be continued. Okay, you are gonna continue it. You better continue it. That was a terrible ending. Okay. You better continue it, because that ending ticked me off. The other thing is though, is how they gonna continue it? I mean, I guess the aliens are probably already defeated, so you could kind of go like maybe they lived on Earth and they have their own company, and then except Circe maybe is a secretary and she hinders all that stuff. She doesn't really do the whole magical stuff, and maybe Lisette and Canxue do that stuff. Same as to help people. Because he didn't talk about that, and maybe that would lead up to it. Maybe they go on off and actually get a agency like that, and they want Circe to be part of it. But maybe Circe's upset because she's only seen as a secretary. Maybe something happens that causes her to get her powers back, and she can actually help. So I will give it a pass because it's going to be to continued. It's a to be continued. I'm going to give it a pass because of that reason. If it didn't say that, I would've, because everything else about the game was good except that ending. It was supposed to be a good ending, but it ended in such a sad note, which what ticks me off. They could have done that so much better, but they didn't. So, but like I said, to be continued. So I'll give it a pass, and we'll see about the sequel, and see. It's also possible that. Okay, so this is to say theory, but this game is free, okay? This is a free game. You know, you can download this, not cost anything. What if it was more seen like a demo? It says to be continued, so maybe they make more and then make it a full, like a $10 or $20 game that goes on after that. Like you still got that 2.5 or 3 hour experience, but then you get the rest of the experience. You know what I mean? Or they could just make another one that actually continues it. But I want to see what happens next, and it might be a few months before we get something like that. But I think for this game being like it is, the ending was probably took me off the mark because the ending just felt so sad, even though it was probably supposed to be the most happiest thing. Everybody was happy, everybody was chill, but because of Circe, you hear her thoughts and everything, and it just feels so sad the entire time. And I couldn't feel happy about it. Like, I just couldn't. I'm supposed to be happy about it. Like, humankind is saved, they defeated aliens, you know, like, everybody should be happy, but then you just got Circe being super depressed, and it's just like not happy. I don't really know why she's like that, because she didn't seem like that type of person. She did get like hit by an alien or whatnot and get her powers taken away, but from what the game was telling me, they didn't have the powers for very long. A month maybe at most, and I don't even think about it. It was probably like a week. So like, you kind of lived like probably 20 years of your life without powers. You don't really need them, like, you know, like, you didn't really need it before, but now you do. Like, it's just a lot of things. Like, I feel like how Circe was acting was not her personality. She didn't seem like, she was also, it was also weird because she was also really one-dimensional. Because, at least with Canxue, it's more the smart one, strategic, you know. And Lisette's more energetic and rushes forward, you know, but she's not completely dumb. And then you got Circe, which is kind of like, she barely talks either. Like, there were times for first like 30 minutes, I didn't even know she talked. And try, you know, but like, you didn't even know what she looks like unless you go to the voice thing and actually see her. And you only see her face and a little bit of like her neck. You don't even see her full body. So, but I think seeing her depressed like that, it is too awkward. Like, from what I know, she didn't really seem like that kind of person from what I've seen anyway. She never showed any signs of depression at all, like at all, in the slightest. Now, most of the time she just thinks what's going on in the head, and she doesn't seem depressed. And then you get there, and it's just like completely depressed. Like, it's just so off-putting. You know, it was like the novel was good. Okay, I would say the novel was good. The ending was not. But like I said, it's just to be continued. So it definitely did end there. They might continue it more, and maybe we'll see. Maybe they'll make Circe more of a character and actually make her, you know, have more personality. So, but I will play the next one. The ending sucked, but I will play the next one and see if whenever that comes out, and see what happens after this, and maybe it will be rectified. You know, maybe, I don't know, maybe Circe comes to terms with something. I don't know. Maybe maybe the second one's gonna be more about her. Versus, because the second one, this one didn't really feel about her. Like, she was the main character, but on reality, she definitely was kind of like, you could have made her pretty much absent and the story wouldn't have changed. So maybe the second one will be more about her, and maybe they'll do a good one with a trilogy thing. Maybe do like a trilogy thing. I really don't know where they can go from here. The only thing I can think is about that agency form they talked about, because they talked about it, and that would be perfect. So only I can think is maybe they do some kind of agency form, agency thing with magical girls, because they said everybody on Earth knows about them. They just don't know what they look like outside of their uniforms, I think it was. So they could carry on with that, because and make it on Earth maybe. And then it'd be a weirder one too though, because this first game is all set in space pretty much. And then you actually get it, or maybe they don't do it on Earth. Maybe they do it on Mars. Or maybe they fix the moon. Or maybe I really don't know, because it'd be weird to make this the next one like 2 years later, because it feels like what Circe was feeling in this part of the game at the end wouldn't feel right if she's still feeling that 2 years later. So I don't know, but I feel like the agency thing form, whatever you call it, the late business you want to do, I think that would probably be best bet. So anyway, I've talked long enough though. I guess that'll be it, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. So have a good one, and bye bye.